Hello and welcome back to my makeup collection series. My name is Tom, and if you're new here, thank you so much for watching. I know a lot of people like to watch these just for a little bit of relaxation, just to take a peek into other people's makeup collection. If you want to know more about my collection, if you start on the first video, I kind of explain what my goal is here. There might be some decluttering happening through the video, and essentially what I'm doing is I'm working my way down my Alex drawers and taking a look at my collection, getting a better handle on my collection. I used to work for Sephora, so my makeup collection is like larger than the average consumer, but not quite as large as some beauty tubers, That's not shade, that's just me pointing out the kind of size you're going to see. I'm sitting on the floor. Yes, these are eyeshadows that fell, so I see it. I know it's there, but let's just take a look at the drawer we're getting into. So this is my foundation, primer, concealer, setting spray drawer. Now, I will definitely not be getting rid of any of my foundations. I am going to try to review all of my foundations. It's a personal thing I want to do. I want to give all of them a test run. We're just going to start like row by row. We might get rid of some things. I'm not really sure that that's going to happen. I'm going to do the same for concealers as well. Hold them onto them for reviewing. So it's just kind of looking at the collection. If I've ever tried the foundation, I'll tell you a little bit about it. If I haven't tried the foundation, then I really can't give you an opinion upon it. So I'm just going to get started, start pulling from things. This is the Codely Beauty. Oh my God. This is the Codely Beauty Elixir. This is like a facial mist. It's somewhere between skincare and a finishing spray. I like it as a finishing spray. I've never just sprayed my face for any reason. Skincare wise, that's just like not something I do with my skincare. But I do really like this. It does have quite the smell if you've never smelled it before. Almost smells a little mentholy. It's nothing that's not natural. It definitely has a distinct smell. So if you're not into that, I would pass on it. But I do really like this. I also think in the summertime, if you put this in the refrigerator, this would be a really good way coming in from like a long walk and just like misting your face with some cool spray. Feel really good. So this is the Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation. I clearly have used it. So I haven't used this in a while. I liked it when I was using it for a second, but also this shade is like not the best shade match for me. I did not shade match myself, so it was one of my coworkers shade matched it. And I think it might have been closer in the summertime when I got matched up to this because it's a little dark and a little bit olivey, which is not really something that's in my complexion typically. So I'm excited to try it out again. That'll be one thing in my foundation series. There's definitely going to be stuff that's not matching me. I can't say I love this. In theory, it sounds really good if you are someone who uses a sponge, but I think when I was using it, I was using a brush and I preferred it with a brush. So isn't that ironic? But like just this angle, if you don't want to use the beauty sponge and lay it down like this, I just think it's kind of pointless and gimmicky. This is the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue. Wow, this light is really giving some reflection today. And that's great because everything in here is so reflective. I have used this a couple of times and I have really enjoyed it. It's very great for the summertime. You have some SPF in it, but it definitely is still a foundation. It's not like a tinted moisturizer. So there is a little bit of thickness to it, but I will give a full review of it at some point when I get to it. But I have really enjoyed this the times I have used it. This is the Milk Makeup Flex Foundation Stick. If you've never seen it, it looks a little like this. I have made a lot of progress on this. This was something that I was trying to pan last year for the first half of the year. And I was doing some great work on it. And then I got sidetracked, got some more gratis. And I feel like I'm gonna pull this down all the way. And like, okay, there's some progress. Okay. Look at that. I have worked on this. I just wanted to prove that to myself a little bit just now. I don't know. Sometimes I look at things and I'm like, I've used that so much. I really like this packaging. There's something very satisfying about the way it feels. And it's a nice medium coverage foundation. It was It's like a holy grail product for me for a while. I just haven't used it in a minute, so I'm excited to try it out again and give a full review of it. And it's fine if like people aren't looking for full reviews of these, but I just throw them up there in case someone ever is curious, you know? Ooh, child. Child. This is the Lancome Tenti Dole Ultra Wear. I love this foundation. I have two. These are both in the same shade. I think one just looks a little, they look the same in person, but on camera they are reading as different shades to me. But I can tell you they are the same shade. I've used one of these so much. I really love this foundation. I haven't worn this foundation in a while, so I'm excited to wear it again. I just think it looks so beautiful on the skin. It does have a slight bit of SPF in it, but I hope you know that SPF when you first put it on is only good for about like 60 to 80 minutes. So you need to reapply SPF if you are relying on your foundation to be your SPF. You need something throughout the day. Just a quick reminder. This is the YSL or Yves Saint Laurent All Hours foundation. This foundation I did not like the first time I used it because I did it with a brush. Turns out I like it with a sponge better. So really love this foundation. And super full coverage, wears really beautifully on the skin, doesn't look or feel heavy whenever you are wearing it. I just really enjoy it. This is the Nars Soft Matte Foundation. This packaging is so fat and juicy and weird, and I don't really understand it. And it is like a squirt bottle. However, when I put this foundation on, very rarely when I put a foundation on am I super amazed by it. This foundation I was wearing it consistently for a very long time. And then I just was getting tired of wearing foundation because, you know, with the mask situation, and it's just a lot to take on with something like this. But it has beautiful coverage. I thought it looked so good on the skin, especially if you are, I would say even like slightly oily. You're going to really like this. I don't know if it's going to work as well on dry skin, but it's very good. But full review from me to come. These are my Kryolan TV paint sticks. I have a couple different shades here and used for various things. This one is NB1. I think this is a natural. Yeah, I use this one to help cover my brows when I had them. I might be able to get rid of this or maybe pass this one on to someone who might need something like this. I'm not trying to wear this as real foundation. I'm trying to wear these as because these are very thick products. As you know, a lot of drag, or you may or may not know, a lot of drag performers tend to use these kind of foundations. But this one's white, just a full-on white. That's number 70. And then I also have a purple one. I bought it on sale when I was in Chicago. This is R27. It's so fun. I like to do like a fun looks with these. I just haven't done a fun look in a while. This, and there's not actually a setting spray in here. This is just, I fill this with water because I use it for like water activated product. This is from Dr. Jart. It's the BB Dissapore. This has some SPF in it too. It only comes in 2 shades. It's a very interesting product. I don't have my final thoughts on it, but she sure is thick. So that's something to know. This is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Foundation. So when I first got this, I actually hated it so much. I felt like it was too much. Well, it turns out that I was just applying too much. Once I really reduced how much I was using on my face, as I use a certain amount, I pull the foundation through my beard and stubble and such. So sometimes that just requires a little bit more product. But I'm also not an everyday makeup wearer. I mostly do it for looks, or if whenever we can go out again, I'll probably do that. But I also don't go out super often whenever we can go out. This foundation is so stunning. I feel like people who liked the old formula don't really care for this, but I really like this one. But this is the Rare Beauty Primer. I've only used this once, so I need to give it another go. I don't think it's likely that it'll stay in my collection because I do feel that there's a little bit of it's very shimmery. And that's not something that I need in my primer, but I also think this would be beautiful for a highlight whenever I'm not wearing foundation, just on the high points of my face, because it does give you a nice dewy look, but I'm not sure that it gives you a dewy. I don't think it helps with your foundation looking more dewy, I guess, unless you were mixing it in. This is the Givenchy Tint Couture City Balm. This is my favorite tinted moisturizer. Unfortunately, Givenchy has a shit shade range, or else I would like probably talk about this to the high heavens more, because I think it's such a beautiful product. So lightweight, looks so good on the skin. Just a nice natural finish. It's just so stunning. I like it so much. It's so annoying that like this became one of my favorite products, but it really truly is. I just wish this shade range was a little bit better, because also it pulls way too yellow. It's not super neutral. It's not really good for cooler undertones either. So it's very like one of those, because I just feel like more expensive brands like Givenchy, they always tend to pull so warm or so yellow in their shade ranges, because I think this is the lightest shade and it was the only one that worked for me. This is the Anastasia Foundation. And I really like this foundation. I think this packaging is tacky as heck. I just think I don't like this packaging at all. And another problem I have is the pump doesn't ever push itself back up, so I have to do that manually. The good thing is I really love the product inside. I really like the luminous finish that it gives. I just think it looks really beautiful on the skin. Even as someone who's oily, I felt like this one looked really good on the skin and didn't really move around too much. So I know a lot of people are up in the air on Anastasia right now, and I feel the same way, but this foundation is pretty good. This is the Rare Beauty foundation. I've only used this like a couple of times. I need to try it some more, obviously, to have a full opinion, and I'm going to do that, for myself, and to see if it's like a product I would be interested in. I'm very excited to actually work my way through and review my foundations and kind of just get down to like 2, maybe 3, because obviously this is way too many foundations. I'm never going to get through all of them, but I do want to use them all to make a decision on which one I would like to keep purchasing. This is the Born This Way matte foundation from Too Faced. Wow, I like completely blanked. I haven't tried this one at all yet, so I have no opinion on it. It is a lot dark for me, so my wear test will be more of a matter just to see if I like the formula when I'm trying it on. I'll just have to, blend it all the way down into my shirt line. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I've only given this one go, so I don't really have an opinion on it. It is very full coverage. That's all I can really say about it. And it's a neutral shade, and it pulled very yellow on me. And I have some photos of me wearing it, and it's very interesting that I was that yellow and people liked it. Were too kind to say anything to me. I'm a MAC Fix Plus bitch. Even the whole time I worked at Sephora, this was my preferred finishing spray. I don't really use setting spray. This is really what I use. I don't think that it does anything to actually keep your makeup on, but I do think it makes your makeup look beautiful whenever you are done. It just melds everything into the skin. I will buy it forever. I like it so much. I even know that like the Mist Fix 02 or whatever from Makeup Forever is a very similar formula to this, but I just love this so much. And it was my first finishing spray. So there's like something to the smell. This is like a whole experience that I like want to keep having. From what I can see, this is my last foundation. This is the Pat McGrath Foundation. I know this is really hit or miss for a lot of people. It's one of my favorite foundations. I really like it a lot. Excited to get use out of it again. Like, obviously you can tell some of these foundations I have put some love into. And this is like, I really like this. I think it looks really beautiful on the skin. You can build it up to the kind of coverage you want. It is super expensive, but there's another expensive foundation that I'll be reviewing on my channel that I did not like as much as this, just because of and it's not even because of the name. I really like the way this foundation looked on me. Hopefully when I review it, I still like it as much, but we'll see. This is the Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer from Too Faced. This is my favorite concealer. It's a shock because I don't really love the brand Too Faced, and a lot of the stuff that they sell is like not for me, but this one is very much for me. It's beautiful, full coverage. I really think that it is like, if Tarte Shape Tape was better, it's this. It's I know no one would. I would talk about it to clients all the time, and I was just like, this is my favorite concealer, and a lot of them would look at me like I had 5 eyes, and I was like, no, literally this is it. And it's I know that you don't trust this, but trust me. And a lot of people really did like it and would buy it out of my recommendation. I like this one so much. This is the Kimchi The Most concealer. I used this a handful of times and I remember really enjoying it, but I need to give it like a more fair shot. The one thing I will tell you is I hate that this has like a brush tip applicator and has a squeezy tube. It's too many things. That is the most, and I don't like that about it. But I do think I like the product inside, but I have to take another dive with it. This is the YSL Touche Clot High Cover Concealer. Love this. So nice. You don't get a lot of product and it is very expensive. So I don't know now that I'm like not at Sephora if I will be purchasing this in the future. I also really used to like the Burberry Concealer and it came in very similar packaging. This has like the clicky pen and I don't mind the brush tip as much on a click pen because I feel like I at least have some control with the click. With the squeezy tube, I just never knew how much was going to come out at any time on the Kimchi one. But this is my favorite. I also, I really love the way this performed on clients who were really worried about aging skin and mature skin and like the texture around the eyes. I think this product is very beautiful for that. This is the Touche Clot Radiant Touch. This one has like a shimmer to it and it's not really like for coverage. It's more for like a highlighting and or color correcting situation because the shades that this comes in they're a little bit weird, but it's a very beautiful product. I really like it a lot. This is the Armani Luminous Silk Concealer. I've only used this a couple times. The undertone is a little bit weird for me. So I don't think it's the right shade. It's also, I normally like to go a lot brighter with my under eye and I just don't think it went light enough, but this is shade number 2. So I would have had to get the fairest one, if I wanted any fairer than this. So, the shade range in the Luminous Silk is the undertone, everything's very weird about it. It's not my favorite. It was never my favorite to match people to. And I have the foundation too. It's just not in this drawer right now. That's actually the first foundation that I chose to review. So this is the Too Faced concealer, Too Faced Peach Concealer. I'm pretty sure that this line is getting discontinued from Too Faced. It was marked down for a very long time while I was working at Sephora. I have never used this. I'm thinking I might just pass this on. I don't think there's anything about this that truly intrigues me and makes me feel like I want it. I might change my mind. You know what? Actually, I caught a whiff of it. I don't want this. This is the Beauty Blender Bounce Concealer. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm obviously ready and willing to. So as much as I love the Lancome foundation, I have never tried this concealer. I'm scared because it's in this squeezy tube. I don't trust myself with, I much would rather have a doe foot applicator with my concealer. But of course I'm going to try it and give it a go. This is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I don't use this all the time. I kind of like when I do, but I also feel like I don't have like the best opinions on it. Some people, this is their ride or die. I don't know if I feel that way about it, but I'm excited to give it some more use to like form an opinion. This is the Clinique All Over. There's a lot of words on there. Even better. It's the one that has the sponge on the end, which is very confusing to me. I did try this once, but I don't think I used it the way it was intended. I was trying to do the most with this concealer. So I, of course, want to give it go again. Michelle Wang put this on one of her, like it was on her favorite concealers, and I thought that was interesting. I don't use a lot of Clinique, so it would be fun to maybe find a product that I like from them. This is the Pat McGrath Concealer. I love this. I love it so much. There was some trial and error with it. You don't need that much of it. There's a lot of coverage on it. And once you figure out the amount you need, it's a very beautiful product. And it's in a glass container, which I don't feel like a lot of concealers come in. And there is like even though it doesn't look super luxe, it definitely feels luxe and weighted in your hand when you do have it. So that was my last foundation. This is my last foundation. This is the Halo Fresh Perfecting Powder from Smashbox. It's the one that when you twist, it grinds. I've never worn powder foundation, really. So I haven't really given this a try. So it'd be fun to review and like play around with. I do have a format that I've come up with for liquid foundations that I would not maybe be able to do with this foundation, but I'm excited to give a powder foundation a try. Maybe I'll like it, but I don't know. This is the Kimchi Stage Proof Matte Setting Spray. I've only used this a couple of times and I actually did like it. So I have used matte setting sprays in the past and not really liked them. I did use the Urban Decay Ultra Matte and it just felt like a lot. This one gave me more of like a soft matte go, but also I think Kimchi designed this, you know, for performers and for that to lock in their foundation. So in makeup, and so maybe I'm not the right consumer for this, but I would like to give it another try before I like truly, you know, get rid of it. I might get rid of this. This is the Porefessional. It's a perfectly fine primer, but it's also not my favorite. I have other pore filling primers that I like more. So I think I might just pass this on. I literally have never used the Photo Finish primers and I have a little trial size of it. So I'm going to give it a go. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Face Primer. I only used this one time so far, so I don't really have a informed opinion on it. So I'd like to use it some more to you know, truly decide whether or not it's for me. This is the Milk Hydro Grip. Of course, I've made a lot of progress on it. I really like this primer. I know it's hit or miss for people. It's like one of those you love it or you hate it kind of primers. Super tacky. I think not tacky like not good, but or like with lacking taste. It has a super tacky feel to it, and I feel like it's just really good for people who have product really good at gripping, obviously, from your foundation moving around your face all day. This is the Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish Supply, you know, all of the words. It was $65 when I bought this, but I bought it in like a set from her website. So I bought it with the powder and the foundation. It's like fine. It's fine. I think it performs a lot like, honestly, the Porefessional, but just a little bit thinner, not as thick, I would say. I mean, I guess that's the same thing. Just definitely isn't as thick as the Porefessional. I'm gonna hold on to this. I know she lowered the price. This isn't worth it. And it's interesting that Pat McGrath's packaging goes from like feeling super luxe to like this is like construction paper wrapped around it. It's like it's not the tea, but I'm gonna hold on to it because it spent so much money on it. This is Isle of Paradise bronzing drops. I'm afraid of these. I got them in gratis. I would like to try them, but I also think I'm gonna mess it up. But there's that. All right, so I'm gonna put everything back in the drawer. And that one was really easy because there was no hard choices to have to be made. So yeah, I'm just trying to get this all, you know, ready for my stuff to go back in. Okay, so I kind of ran into a problem. I like don't have any more places to put things. I think all I have left is the concealers. These might fit in my top drawer, which you are going to be like way too close to, yeah, to really see this. And also they won't fit in there. And this one is like at its capacity, sort of, definitely. And then we're not going to look at that bottom drawer because we have yet to get to it. There is some space back here. If I know all my concealers are up there, I don't know where to look for them. So they're going to end up living up here, which I don't love. But hopefully as I work my way through my collection and doing reviews on the foundations, this will get a little bit breezier. So I'm going to shut the drawer for now. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it through the video, I would love for you to subscribe. I'm going to try to do one video a week. That's like the best I can do. I do work full time, even though it's from home. It's working for full time. And then I also have 2 podcasts that I also have to record and edit throughout the week. And if you want to interested in those, check them out in my description box. We just did an episode on framing Britney Spears on my podcast, It Bears Repeating. That's a pop culture expansion pack. So we take really deep dives on things. So we're now going to do a Britney Spears series. My co-host, Tiffany, she's a huge Britney Spears fan. And I also like Britney Spears, but I'm not as deep. So I'm very excited to take this dive with her. And then our other podcast is a Patreon only podcast where we take a look at hits from the past and talk about whether or not they're still good. So that one's a lot of fun. And we have a Marina. If you're a fan of Marina, formerly Marina and the Diamonds, we're going to do a bracket on that. And then there's a lot coming content wise for me. Just not all of it's going to live on YouTube. It Bears Repeating also has, we started doing video content. So if you want to subscribe to that channel too, I'm going to leave that in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Tom again, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Bye. Oh, also, there's also other makeup collection videos from me. So this is part 4. So if you haven't seen 1 through 3, that's all there for you if you enjoyed spending your time with me. Okay. Thank you. Bye.